Are you feeling weighed down, as if carrying an invisible yet incredibly heavy burden? That, my friends, is often the palpable weight of unforgiveness. It's a profound force, one that doesn't just linger in the abstract corners of our minds but seeps into the very fabric of our physical and emotional existence, impacting us in ways we might not even fully realize. Physically, this internal turmoil can manifest in a myriad of distressing symptoms. Chronic stress that keeps your shoulders tensed and your jaw clenched, elevated blood pressure putting a strain on your heart, a weakened immune system leaving you vulnerable to every passing bug, restless nights filled with tossing and turning instead of restorative sleep, and even persistent headaches or unexplained muscle aches that no amount of rest seems to alleviate. It's as if your body itself is protesting the emotional poison you're holding onto, and emotionally, the toll is just as if not more devastating. Unforgiveness is a fertile ground for a toxic trio: resentment, bitterness, and anger. Resentment acts like a slow-burning fire, replaying past hurts, nurturing grievances, and keeping the emotional wounds raw and infected. It's that constant, nagging feeling of injustice, that simmering displeasure that clouds your interactions and steals your peace. Then comes bitterness, a deeply corrosive acid that sours your outlook on life, tainting your relationships and eroding your capacity for joy. It's like wearing a pair of darkened glasses that casts a shadow over everything beautiful, making it difficult to trust, to love freely, or to see the good in others or even in yourself. And anger, oh, that fiery, often volatile emotion, when rooted in unforgiveness, becomes a destructive force. It can be a seething quiet rage that eats away at you from the inside, or an explosive outburst that harms those around you, pushing people away and leaving a trail of regret. These emotions, far from being fleeting, become a dominant part of your emotional landscape, affecting your overall well-being in a profoundly negative way, diminishing your capacity for happiness and contentment. Moreover, holding onto these grudges, these painful memories replayed ad nauseum, effectively chains you to the past. It's like being trapped in a recurring scene of a play you never wanted to be in, forced to relive the pain, the betrayal, the disappointment over and over again. This fixation on what was, on what hurt you, actively prevents you from moving forward, from embracing the present moment, and from building a hopeful future. You become a prisoner of your own history, unable to heal, unable to grow, and unable to experience the freedom that comes with letting go. The energy you expend on nursing these old wounds is energy that could be channeled into creating new, positive experiences, into nurturing healthy relationships, and into pursuing your dreams. Unforgiveness, therefore, isn't just a state of mind. It's a heavy anchor dragging you down, keeping you stuck in a turbulent sea of negativity, far from the shores of peace and personal progress. It's a burden that, quite simply, you were never meant to carry, and recognizing its weight is the very first step towards liberation and the transformation we're going to explore. Now, let's delve into the true meaning of forgiveness, because it's a concept often misunderstood, shrouded in misconceptions that can make it seem either impossible or undesirable. It is absolutely crucial to understand, right from the outset, that forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of the person who hurt you. It's not about saying what they did was okay, acceptable, or that it didn't cause pain. It's not about minimizing the offense, excusing bad behavior, or letting someone off the hook in terms of accountability or justice, especially if laws were broken. Forgiveness does not mean you have to forget what happened, as if wiping a slate clean of a painful memory. Indeed, some experiences are etched so deeply that forgetting is neither possible nor advisable, as they may serve as important lessons. Nor does forgiveness necessarily mean you must reconcile with the person who wronged you, or that you have to restore the relationship to its previous state, or even allow that person back into your life, particularly if they remain unrepentant, continue their harmful behavior, or if the relationship is inherently toxic and unsafe. The heart of true forgiveness lies elsewhere. Fundamentally, forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the agonizing pain, the suffocating bitterness, and the relentless anger that has tethered you to that hurtful event or person. It is an internal act, a deeply personal decision you make for your own liberation. It's about consciously choosing to let go of the desire for revenge, the need to see the other person suffer as you have suffered, or the endless replaying of the offense in your mind. It's about acknowledging the hurt, yes, but then making a deliberate choice to no longer allow that hurt to define you, to control your emotions, or to dictate your present and future happiness. Think of it this way: unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You are the one who suffers most. Forgiveness, then, is the antidote you choose to take for your own healing. It is about breaking free from the heavy, invisible chains of the past, those chains forged from resentment, anger, and pain, and choosing, with courage and conviction, to move forward into a lighter, freer existence. It's a declaration that you will no longer be a victim of what happened, but a survivor who chooses growth and peace. This act of releasing the past is an incredibly powerful step towards reclaiming your personal power and your narrative. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, forgiveness is a profound act of self-love and self-care. When you choose to forgive, you are essentially saying to yourself, "I value my peace of mind, my emotional well-being, and my future happiness more than I value holding onto this pain and anger. I deserve to be free from this burden. I choose healing for myself." It's a recognition that your inner peace is paramount, and that you are willing to do the internal work necessary to achieve it. It's about tending to your own emotional wounds with compassion, understanding that your healing is your responsibility and your right. By forgiving, you are not doing a favor for the offender. You are doing an immense favor for yourself, gifting yourself the opportunity to live a life unencumbered by the negativity of the past, opening up space for joy, love, and new possibilities. It is a powerful affirmation of your own worth and your commitment to your own well-being. So, how do we actually embark on this journey of practicing forgiveness, moving it from an abstract concept to a lived reality? It's a process, not a single event, and it often requires intention, effort, and a willingness to engage with uncomfortable emotions. A crucial and often overlooked starting point is with yourself. Begin by forgiving yourself. We are all imperfect human beings, and it's inevitable that we've made mistakes, said things we regret, or perhaps even inflicted pain on others, intentionally or unintentionally. We might also be holding on to self-blame for how we reacted to being hurt, or for not seeing warning signs, or for staying in a damaging situation for too long. This internal unforgiveness towards ourselves can be just as crippling, if not more so, than unforgiveness towards others. It breeds shame, guilt, and a diminished sense of self-worth. Therefore, extend the same compassion and understanding to yourself that you might strive to offer others. Acknowledge your missteps, learn from them, and then consciously release the self-condemnation. Tell yourself that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time, and that you are deserving of your own forgiveness and a fresh start. This act of self-forgiveness can create a more fertile ground for forgiving others, as it cultivates an internal environment of grace and acceptance. Next, use mindfulness techniques to help you navigate the often turbulent waters of your emotions. Practices like meditation can be incredibly powerful. By sitting quietly and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, you can begin to understand the patterns of your resentment and anger. Meditation can help create a space between you and your emotions, allowing you to see them more objectively rather than being completely overwhelmed by them. Deep breathing exercises are another simple yet effective tool. When you feel a surge of anger or a wave of painful memories, consciously slowing down your breath, inhaling deeply through your nose, holding for a moment, and exhaling slowly through your mouth can activate your body's relaxation response, calming your nervous system and allowing for clearer thinking. Journaling is also a highly beneficial practice. Writing down your feelings, your hurt, your anger, and your journey towards forgiveness can be a cathartic release. It allows you to process your emotions in a safe, private space, to articulate the pain, and to explore different perspectives. You can write a letter to the person you need to forgive. You don't have to send it, expressing everything you feel. This act of putting feelings into words can help you gain clarity and distance, making it easier to let go. These mindfulness techniques are not about suppressing emotion, but about processing them in a healthy, conscious way, allowing you to release the resentment without letting it fester. Finally, consistently consider the benefits that await you on the other side of forgiveness. Actively visualize and imagine the peace and freedom that forgiveness will bring into your life. Picture yourself unburdened by the weight of anger and resentment. Envision yourself feeling lighter, more joyful, and more open to new experiences and relationships. Think about the mental clarity you'll gain, the improved sleep, the reduced stress. When the process feels difficult, and it often will, reminding yourself of why you are undertaking this journey. For your own profound peace, your own emotional well-being, your own liberation, can provide powerful motivation to persevere. Keep that vision of a freer, more peaceful you at the forefront of your mind. This isn't about ignoring the pain of the past, but about choosing a future where that pain no longer holds you captive. The practice of forgiveness is an investment in yourself, a courageous step towards reclaiming your inner serenity and joy. Embracing forgiveness, truly embracing it, unlocks a cascade of profound benefits that ripple through every aspect of your being, significantly enhancing your overall quality of life. One of the most immediate and noticeable advantages is how it reduces stress and anxiety, thereby promoting mental and emotional well-being. Holding on to unforgiveness is like keeping your internal alarm system on high alert, constantly pumping stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline through your body. This chronic stress state contributes to anxiety, irritability, depression, and a host of physical ailments. When you consciously choose to forgive, you are essentially turning off that alarm. You release the tension, the rumination, and the emotional agitation that fueled the stress. As the grip of resentment loosens, a sense of calm can begin to settle in. Your mind becomes less cluttered with replayed grievances and fantasies of revenge, allowing for greater mental clarity and peace. This reduction in internal turmoil naturally alleviates anxiety, making you feel more grounded, centered, and emotionally stable. You'll find yourself better equipped to handle life's everyday challenges without the added weight of past hurts amplifying your stress levels. It's like setting down a heavy backpack you've been carrying for miles. The relief is palpable and deeply restorative for your mental and emotional health. Secondly, forgiveness has a remarkable power to improve relationships, fostering healthier connections with others. Unforgiveness often acts as a barrier, not just with the person who wronged you, but it can spill over and poison your interactions with others as well. Bitterness and resentment can make you cynical, distrustful, and quick to anger, making it difficult to form and maintain healthy, loving connections. When you practice forgiveness, you begin to dismantle these barriers. If the forgiveness is directed towards someone you wish to maintain a relationship with, it can open the door for healing, understanding, and a renewed sense of connection, provided the other person is also willing. But even if reconciliation isn't possible or desired with the specific offender, the internal shift that forgiveness brings makes you a more open, compassionate, and approachable person in all your relationships. You're less likely to project past hurts onto new people or situations. You become more capable of empathy and understanding, fostering an environment where trust and intimacy can flourish. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, open communication, and the ability to navigate conflicts constructively. Forgiveness is a key ingredient in nurturing these qualities, allowing you to build stronger, more fulfilling bonds with the people in your life. Lastly, and perhaps most transformational, forgiveness significantly increases self-compassion and acceptance, leading to greater happiness and fulfillment. The journey of forgiveness, especially when it includes forgiving yourself, cultivates a deeper understanding of human frailty, both in others and in ourselves. As you learn to release judgment towards those who have hurt you, you often find it easier to release judgment towards yourself. You begin to treat yourself with more kindness, understanding, and patience, especially when you make mistakes or fall short of your own expectations. This increased self-compassion is a cornerstone of genuine happiness. When you accept yourself, flaws and all, you free yourself from the relentless pursuit of an unattainable perfection and the harsh inner critic that often accompanies it. This internal acceptance allows you to experience a more authentic and sustainable form of joy and contentment. You become less dependent on external validation and more rooted in your own inherent worth. By letting go of the pain of the past through forgiveness, you create space within yourself for more positive emotions, for gratitude, for love, and for a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from living a life aligned with your truest, most compassionate self. The benefits are not just fleeting, they are foundational shifts that contribute to a more peaceful, joyful, and authentically lived life. It is absolutely vital to understand and embrace the truth that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination, and certainly not a one-time event that happens instantaneously. This isn't like flipping a switch where one moment you're consumed by anger and resentment, and the next, poof, you're completely free and serene. The path to genuine, deep-seated forgiveness is often a winding one, with its own pace, its own challenges, and its own moments of progress and occasional setbacks. It's a deeply personal process that unfolds over time, requiring consistent effort, unwavering patience, and a profound commitment to your own healing and well-being. There will likely be days when you feel you've made significant strides, where the memories of past hurts don't sting as sharply, and a sense of peace feels attainable. On these days, you might feel a lightness, a sense of liberation, and a renewed hope for the future. However, there may also be days when old triggers resurface, when a particular memory, a song, a place, or even an unexpected encounter brings a fresh wave of pain, anger, or sadness. You might find yourself re-experiencing those difficult emotions, and it can be disheartening, making you feel as if you've regressed or failed in your efforts to forgive. This is entirely normal and a natural part of the healing process. It doesn't mean you haven't made progress. It simply means that healing, like forgiveness, is not always linear. Some wounds are deeper than others and require more time and more gentle attention to mend. Therefore, the most important advice is to be patient with yourself and don't expect to achieve it overnight. Resist the urge to rush the process or to berate yourself if you're not over it as quickly as you think you should be, or as quickly as others might expect you to be. Everyone's journey is unique, shaped by their individual experiences, their personality, the nature of the offense, and the support systems they have in place. There is no universal timeline for forgiveness. Grant yourself the grace to feel what you feel, to process your emotions at your own pace, and to move through the stages of healing in a way that feels authentic and sustainable for you. Avoid comparing your journey to anyone else's. Your healing is your own sacred work. And crucially, celebrate each step you take, no matter how small it may seem, and remember that you are inherently worthy of peace and freedom. Acknowledge your courage in even embarking on this challenging path. Every time you consciously choose not to dwell on a painful memory, every time you respond with a little more understanding instead of immediate anger, every time you practice a moment of self-compassion when you feel triggered, these are all victories. These small steps accumulate over time, creating a powerful momentum towards lasting healing. Keep reminding yourself of your ultimate goal, the profound peace, the emotional freedom, and the renewed sense of self that forgiveness offers. You deserve to live a life unburdened by the shackles of past hurts. You are worthy of joy, love, and a future filled with hope. This journey of forgiveness is an act of profound self-love, a testament to your resilience and a courageous reclaiming of your inner peace. Trust the process, be kind to yourself, and know that with each intentional step, you are moving closer to the transformed heart and liberated spirit that awaits you.